Hey there, and welcome. If you've ever dreamed of growing your own food, only to watch your little seedlings give up the ghost, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to turn that hope into an actual harvest with 5 vegetables that are practically guaranteed to grow.
So, let's kick things off with a big question. Why do so many people get excited about gardening? They buy all the gear, the cute little gloves, and then just quit before they ever taste a single thing they've grown? Maybe this sounds familiar?
Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. And honestly, it's probably a huge relief. It's not because you did something wrong, it wasn't your fault, you didn't fail. You just started with the wrong plants. You know, the slow ones that take months to show any sign of life and just completely drain your enthusiasm.
So what's the secret to getting it right? It's not some magical green thumb. It's just one thing: speed. It's all about creating a fast, rewarding feedback loop that keeps you excited and keeps you in the game.
Think about it like this, right? When you plant something slow, like a tomato from seed, you get weeks and weeks of, well, silence. Nothing seems to be happening. Your brain literally interprets that silence as failure, and that's when you give up. But a fast crop gives you visible progress in just a few days. Your brain sees that as a win, you feel that amazing little jolt of success, and suddenly you're hooked. You want to keep going.
All right, so let's get to the good stuff. Let's meet the 5 plants that are going to put this whole theory into practice. And the best part? Every single one of them works beautifully, whether you have a big garden bed or just a few pots on a balcony.
First up, radishes. And yes, I know what you might be thinking, radishes? But just stay with me here. You can get a fully formed, ready-to-eat vegetable in as little as 18 days. 18! This isn't really about whether you love radishes or not. It's about that incredible feeling of pulling your own food out of the soil. It's proof. It proves to you that this whole thing actually works.
And growing them couldn't be easier. Pop the seeds in about a centimeter deep, keep the soil nice and moist, and give them as much sun as you can. Once you see that little red shoulder of the root pushing up through the soil, they're ready to go. And here's a little pro tip for you. Sow a new small batch every 10 days or so. That way you'll have a continuous supply. And just like that, you've learned your first big gardening concept: succession planting. See? Easy.
Okay, next up we have salad leaves. And I'm telling you, this might just be the most practical and productive crop you can grow, especially if you're short on space. We're talking about getting a massive harvest from something as small as a windowsill box.
And the method for this is just brilliant. It's called cut and come again. So instead of waiting forever for a full head of lettuce, you just scatter the seeds pretty densely. Once the leaves are about 4 inches tall, you just give them a haircut with a pair of scissors, leaving an inch or so at the base. And in about a week to 10 days, they'll regrow for another harvest. Think about that. You can get 4, maybe even 5 harvests from just one single sowing. It's just so efficient.
All right, our third veggie. This is the spring onion, and it is a true unsung hero for beginners. They're so versatile in the kitchen, super easy to grow, and they're ready to harvest in about 8 weeks, which, believe me, is lightning fast in the onion world.
I mean, the advantages here are huge. First off, they take up almost no room at all. Plus, they're not fussy eaters, so you don't need to worry much about fertilizer. And you know what else? Pests generally leave them alone. You can just pull one up whenever a recipe calls for it. If you see the white Lisbon variety, grab it. It's super reliable. Just sow the seeds a centimeter deep, about 3 centimeters apart, and maybe pop in a new row every few weeks.
Okay, number 4. This is where things get really exciting. Dwarf French beans. This is where you graduate from just nibbling on a few leaves to harvesting by the bowlful. These are compact little plants, perfect for pots, and they'll start churning out delicious beans in about 50 to 60 days. Now, the one thing they absolutely demand is warmth, so listen up. Do not plant them until you are 100% sure the last frost is past.
But here's the thing, once they start producing those first little green pods, there is one single, absolutely critical rule you have to follow to keep that harvest coming all summer long. So what is it?
Your job is to convince the plant that its work is never done. It's simple. You have to pick them, constantly. Every single bean you pick sends a signal to the plant that says, hey, make more flowers, which of course means more beans. If you leave old beans hanging on the plant, it thinks its job of making seeds is finished, and it just stops. And finally, we've arrived at number 5, the courgette, or zucchini, depending on where you are. Now, I know this is the one people are often kind of scared of. We've all heard the jokes about having so many you have to sneak them onto your neighbor's doorsteps in the middle of the night. But I promise you, that entire reputation comes from just one simple, common mistake.
And here it is, the golden rule that completely changes the game. Harvest them small. When they're about 15 centimeters or 6 inches long, that's when they're at their absolute peak, tender, sweet, and delicious. And more importantly, picking them at this size, just like with the beans, tells the plant to keep on producing. If you do this, you get a steady, manageable supply for months instead of a sudden flood of giant, woody baseball bats.
So you see, these 5 vegetables, they're so much more than just a quick meal. They are actually a rapid-fire gardening course, a crash course where each and every plant teaches you a core principle of how to grow food successfully.
And this chart just lays it all out so perfectly. The radishes, they teach you how to see results fast. The salad leaves, that's your lesson in the little and often harvest. Spring onions teach you about patience and succession planting. And the beans and courgettes teach you that amazing rule. Picking more literally means you get to grow more. You're learning all the fundamentals of gardening, but in a super compressed time frame. And all of this, all these little lessons, they lead to the single most important outcome for any new gardener. And it has absolutely nothing to do with tools or fertilizer. And this right here is the heart of it all. The hardest part isn't the growing. It's believing that you can actually do it. The real goal isn't just to grow a radish, it's to grow the belief that you are a gardener. These 5 vegetables, they are the absolute fastest way for you to build that confidence, to build that belief in yourself.
So, what if the real secret to a thriving garden isn't just about what you're adding to the soil, but about choosing plants that are designed to teach you and what you're willing to learn from it?